Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of my vlog. It is Saturday, February 22nd, almost 10 p.m.-ish, and I thought I'd go ahead and record my vlog for this week. Real quick, for anyone who's just joining us, I am Mickey Gousset. By day, I am a DevOps architect at Microsoft. By night, I'm a dad, a geek, a voiceover artist, and a couple of other things, depending on what I'm into at the time. So if you'll remember, I started this vlog because I hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I said that once I did that, I would start trying to weekly record an audio diary of what I'm doing, what I've been up to, etc. So this is 2 weeks in a row. Yay me. Now, let's talk about my week that was. So last week. And I've been kind of busy, so I didn't shoot any extra video to try to intersperse into this. I'll try again next week to do that, partially because next weekend I'll also be traveling, so I might be able to get some good shots of stuff to possibly put in here to make it a little more interesting. So for this one, you get my smiling face. This week was a lot of prep for VS Live Las Vegas, which is the conference I'm speaking at next week. To recap, I've got 4 talks I'm doing. I'm doing an all-day hands-on lab with Brian Randall called Better DevOps Using GitHub for Open Source and Inner Source. It's brand new. Looking forward to co-presenting that one with Brian. And then I've also got our Microsoft DevOps journey story about how Microsoft has moved into a more agile growth mindset and more into the DevOps way of doing things. That talk's been updated. I've also got a 20-minute fast focus talk, which is just Azure Pipelines tips and tricks. And then finally, I have a feature flags talk on how you can use feature flags to help you in your DevOps journey. The thing is, prep has actually been going kind of slow. I've been focused most of the week, believe it or not, on just the Azure Pipelines tips and tricks talk, which is just a 20-minute talk. But if you've worked with Azure Pipelines at all, it's a little tricky trying to figure out what all can I show in 20 minutes. Because I'm not really a slides person. I much more prefer to be doing demo. So I'm trying to figure out how to show pipelines in 20 minutes when running those pipelines actually can take several minutes if you kick one off. And I want to cover as much as I can, provide as many tips and tricks as I can in that 20 minutes. So let's just give you a little preview of what I'm going to be talking about. So let me flip over here to my demo script as I have it so far. And here are some of the things that I'm going to be presenting in this 20-minute fast focus tips and tricks. So first off, I need to cover what is Azure Pipelines. So I'm going to quickly cover what that is. That will probably be a slide, the only slide in this talk. Then I'm going to talk about pipeline types, classic versus multi-stage YAML pipelines, and I'll show some examples. What I'm thinking is I'm going to have a bunch of pipelines already built, and then I can just flip over to show different aspects of them. And I may have one that I kick off at the beginning of the talk so that then I could actually show people that, yes, this stuff is working and running. I'm going to talk about variable groups and task groups and when you would use those. I'll talk about how you could do some debugging using the build logs or by setting the system.debug variable to true. Another quick tip is to disable tasks to allow your build to run faster when you're trying to debug things. I'll show how you can tie pipelines back to work items, how you can do token and variable replacement. Then we're going to talk branch policies and how you can do builds as part of a pull request verification. We're going to look at one of the new things in pipelines called environments. And specifically, we're going to look at how environments work for you when you're dealing with Kubernetes and containers and the kind of information that it'll show you. And then finally, we're going to talk about approvals, approval gates, pre-deployment condition, post-deployment conditions, manual approvals, things like that. Now, I've got a couple of other notes of things we might try to cover. which would be things like discuss pipeline agents in more detail, or discuss variables in more detail, or even looking at the CLI on how to manage pipelines. However, I've only got 20 minutes, and I've already outlined 10 items that I want to talk about. So even if I talk really fast, I'll probably be lucky to get through those 10. So I think I'm probably going to stop there, and if I get a chance, I'll add some notes for some other items in the slide deck itself. But that's what I'm thinking about for my pipelines talk. Now my goal is hopefully tomorrow I will get the pipelines talk finished. Then I can make a couple of edits to my feature flag talk because I want to add a couple of things there. And then it's just putting the finishing touches on the hands-on lab and my DevOps journey talk, and we should be good to go for Vegas. Some other things that I've been doing this week, moving furniture. So had half the floors in my house done. So now I'm getting the other half done. So I'm having to take all the furniture out of that half and move it to the side of the house that's finished. So that, needless to say, takes a lot of time, especially when you're doing it by yourself or even with only just one other person. It takes a little time to get this stuff moved. Now, one thing you'll notice, probably not tonight, but possibly in one of the next videos I make, is you may hear cats in the background. That's because I'm downstairs recording this in my little recording studio, and all of the cats that I have, and I have 4 of them, will be moved down here while the floors are getting done as well. So that way we don't have to worry about them trying to escape or go out because they're inside cats. Needless to say, that I'm sure will be interesting because one of our cats named Todd is super, super curious. So I fully expect him to sit at this door and try to meow. Now, I've got 2 dogs. I've got Barney the Beagle and I've got Lilybell, who's like a little rat terrier dog. And unfortunately, they have both figured out how to get into an area of my yard that they're not supposed to get into. So my backyard has 2 levels and it has some steps that go up to the 2nd level. And I've got this little gate in front of the steps. And we have that because Barney had some back issues, so he's not supposed to go up and down steps. Well, somehow the 2 of them have figured out how to get around that gate. So now I had to spend part of today dog-proofing that gate. Luckily, I had a little bit of fencing, a little bit of this plastic fencing that I'd used to secure another area in the yard. And I was able to kind of put that over the spot that they're getting through, and it blends in well enough where it doesn't just look like, oh, look, there's this weird spot of fencing out there. It's been kind of a long week. I've been trying to, obviously, I work in my day job and then spending the evenings both working on my talks as well as working on audiobooks as well as moving furniture, trying to find time to go to the gym, trying to find time for me, whether that's exercise, journaling, reading, playing Halo, which I do with friends every once in a while. What I've found is I want to take time to work on the things I want to work on, but I'm also a little older than I used to be a few years ago, and sleep is a little more precious, and I actually kind of need it because I can't do that whole 4 to 5 hours of sleep for several days in a row anymore. I function better with 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but 7 to 8 hours of sleep implies that I don't have time to work on some of the other things I need to work on. I'm actually in my bullet journal tracking my sleep. So I've tracked my sleep through all of January and mostly through all of February. And I'm tracking sleep, stress, and mood. So every day I have a Fitbit, and the Fitbit tells me, estimates this is how many hours you slept. And then every evening I put what my stress level was that day on a scale of 1 to 10 and what my general mood was on a scale of 1 to 10. So I'm going to track those for the next 2 or 3 months. And then I want to see if I can see some kind of longer term correlation between those. I'm also tracking which days of those are travel days versus days that I'm here in Tupelo. So I figure it'll be interesting in a few months to see where that stands. Now, on the audiobook front, things are going pretty well. I have 2 books that I'm currently working on. And the way it works is, once you're selected for a book, the first thing you have to do is submit the first 15 minutes for review. So you record those 15 minutes, you edit them, and then you send those to the author of the book, and they come back saying, yes, it's good, or no, we want some changes. And then once they approve the first 15 minutes, then you can record the rest of the book. Well, for the 2 books that I'm currently working on, I've submitted the 15 minutes for both of those, one of which has come back saying looks good, the other of which I just submitted today. I'm hoping it will come back and say that it looks good. And then I can continue recording on those. I also have a 3rd book that I've been offered a contract on, which I will start working on once I finish these 2. So it's nice. I have a couple of books in the pipe that I'm working on now. I have a 3rd book, in the queue that I'll be able to get to. So now it's just a matter of prioritizing my time to where I can get all of these things recorded. I really like doing audiobooks. It's a way for me to do my acting and be on stage without actually being on stage, so to speak. So on that front, things are going well. And I probably will not have anything recorded again until after Vegas, but who knows? We'll see. I don't normally carry my recording equipment with me on the road because it's kind of a hassle to tear all this down and bring it with me. I need to acquire a kit to carry with me on the road, but I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So that's my week that was. My upcoming week is pretty much work, obviously, and getting ready for VS Live, finishing up my talks, getting packed, because Friday I will fly out to, where am I flying out to? I'll fly out to LA to see Brian Randall, where we'll finish up our hands-on lab, and then Saturday we're going to drive to Vegas, which will be kind of cool, because I've never driven through the Nevada desert. So we're going to drive from Brian's house to Vegas, and then we will do our talks for the week. So if you're going to be at VS Live, I would love to hear from you. Come track me down. Come see one of our talks. Tell me that you watch this or that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, and that's probably just going to really make my day, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. All right. Well, that's all I've really got this week. So if you're interested, I'd love for you to like this video. I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. I hit my initial goal of 100 users. My next goal is 250 users. And if I get 250 users, I've been promising a lightsaber battle with Elvis. So we're going to see how I can make that happen once I hit that 250 users. I know I need to get another video out this week as well in my pipeline series. So expect to see 1 or 2 videos out this week before I disappear off to VS Live in Las Vegas. I also have a current video series right now on Azure pipelines, and specifically YAML pipelines, but there's also some general pipeline information in there as well. I'd love for you to check that out and let me know what you think. And you can always find me on my website at mickeygousset.com or on Twitter at Mickey_Gousset. I'll include all my contact information in the notes in this video. All right, thanks for watching.